Don't eat that.
Oh.
Go on.
All right.
Hi, my name's Jessica, and this is my testimony. I thought that I was going to India this year with my son, but that is not what God had in store for me. Growing up, I went to a Baptist church when I was in pre-kindergarten and kindergarten in year 1. But then we moved away from the area and we kind of became distant from the church and started leaning more towards just New Age spirituality. I found it quite hard to identify with God because of all of these things that had been done in the name of God that were so destructive. So I actually was living up in the Sunshine Coast at the beginning of the year, and I came to visit some friends in Murwillumbah for my birthday. And I felt really strongly guided to make the decision to move here. So I told my friends, look, I'm thinking of moving here. She said, you should look into putting Jasper into TVAC. And this was a huge leap for me because I was going to homeschool. I was not going to put him in any form of schooling, especially a religious school. I was into a lot of New Age spirituality at the time. So then to jump to then potentially him starting school in a week at a religious school was just so far from where I was. And then God showed up big time. He literally moved mountains to bring us to this area. Within a few days, we'd moved here and Jasper started school. So on the first day of school, I saw a flyer for the parent Bible studies. And I thought, if my son's going to be taught this and he's going to be exposed to this, then I need to really understand what he's being taught and to decide for myself, do I agree with it, and to have a really strong foundation in that. And I was so surprised what I learned in those studies. What was written in the Bible was not at all what I thought was written in the Bible. And the deeper that I went with them, the more that I learned, the more surprised I was and the more that I wanted to know. As I was reading the Bible, I would see, not to practice divination, not to work with those things. And I've been working with it for 5 years and it had been such a big part of our story for 5 years. So to let that go was massive for us. It was such a challenge for me because I had seen so much validation. I knew it so deeply. I was really good at the language of it, and I had investigated and invested into it so deeply. I was working with astrology and I was working with human design, and I found so much validation there. But when I came to learn what God was saying, things really shifted for me. I came to realize that a lot of the aversion that I had previously had to religion was actually due to the work of the Antichrist. And it was not at all in God's character, and it was very different from what I thought. So I first visited the Seventh-day Adventist Church because the principal of the school actually invited me, and she'd been so kind and welcoming during the enrollment process and coming to the parent Bible studies with me. And she messaged me one Saturday morning and said, if you'd like to come to the church today, I can meet you there. It was actually Michelle that welcomed me to the church and made me feel comfortable there. And I just met so many beautiful people, and it even further supported the character of the Seventh-day Adventist community. And I found all the people in the church community, both at the school and at the church, to be so kind, so generous, so loving. And that was actually one of the things that really softened me to be open to learning about it. It was just so beautiful to witness that. Over these few months, God's been working so strongly in our lives, and we've just come closer and closer to Him. And I'm really excited to be baptized and to be reborn again and to follow Him. I want to become a Seventh-day Adventist because it's very clear to me through what I have studied that the Seventh-day Adventist Church is God's one true church. It's the only church that fits all of the identifiers that are given in the Bible of being God's one true church. And I can see the deception in other churches, and that's what I've had aversion to in the past. And I've come to realize, it's not God that I had an aversion to, it was that deception, the work of the Antichrist. I really value that We turn to the Word and we follow the Bible as the truth. And we follow all of the different things that are said in the Bible, not just cherry picking the bits that work for us and distorting it to fit man's agenda. I want to get baptized because it's so clear to me that what is written is true and that God has been working in our life, and He's been so clear in His presence in our life that why would I not want to listen to that and follow that? Why would I not want to give back to someone who gives me so much and who gives us so much, me and my son? So yeah, I want to get baptized because I want to wash away the past and begin again and follow Christ. The more that I've lent into God, the more peace that I've found, the more trust I've found, and it's incredible what God can do when you put your faith in Him and you follow Him. So that's why I'm choosing to follow Him.